To work a toe-up sock, you have to start with a cast-on that's going to be closed, and the best one I've ever encountered is called Judy's Magic Cast-On. And you position the yarn so that the yarn tail is on your index finger and the working yarn is near your thumb. And you have your circular needles parallel. This is much easier if you do it with circular needles. And to start, I place the top needle on top of the yarn and I form a loop. Okay? Now, from this point on, for the yarn for the bottom needle, I'm going to go over and under the yarn closest to my index finger. For the top loop, top needle, I'm going to go over and through with the yarn closest to my thumb. Yarn for the bottom, yarn for the top. Yarn for the bottom, yarn for the top. Yarn for the bottom, yarn for the top. And I just wrap and go through until I get the number of stitches that I want. Now, what I want you to see is on the back, it's creating like a little row of reverse stockinette. And that's what's closing it at the toe. Around, 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 around. And you just repeat this until you've got all of your stitches. Now, for this size, I need 16 stitches on each needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need one more there. Okay? So I've got 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16. And I'm going to count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay? Now, while I was doing that, I had my needles pointing towards the left. To work these first two rows, I'm going to turn my needles pointing towards the right. And here's the yarn tail. It's on the top one. And here's the yarn tail, the working yarn on the bottom. And I'm going to cross that working yarn over that yarn tail and kind of hold it close to tighten it up when I start working. Now, we're going to be using a technique called the magic loop to work this, and what that means is that I'm using circular needles, and they are too long to be working in a complete circle around my stitches. So I'm going to be shifting the stitches on the cables to get it to work. Now I want to work the stitches on my top needle first, and I can't do it right now because my bottom needle is right there. So I'm going to pull my bottom needle out, and here's, okay, and I'm going to knit all of these stitches. And these cables are a little stiff. These are Diac craft needles. They're interchangeables with small sizes, and the cables are a bit stiff. I don't mind it, and I very rarely do the magic loop. This is about the only time I do it. I prefer working with double point needles. There's absolutely no way that's better than another. When you're knitting a sock, if you like working the magic loop, great. If you like using double points, great. It's just your personal preference. Okay, now I'm at the end of my row. And I'm going to turn my needles back towards the right, and I want to work the stitches on the top needle. Well, that means I'm going to have to shift my cable to get my needle, my stitches on the needle, and then I'm going to pull the needle on the bottom. Now on this row, the way that what happens when you put those stitches on there is they get twisted, and so when you work the second side, work the stitches through the back. Just knit them. Instead of going like this through the front, which would twist them, insert it through the back. And this is the only time you have to do this. And I work to the end, and got my cast on almost done. And I've worked my first round. Now the next round is going to be my increase round, and that will be in a separate video. Okay, and there I go. And we're going to take up just where we left off for the increasing for the toe.